Hi there, and welcome to Projects Distilled, where we talk about all things project management. I am so glad that you're here. Have you noticed that since COVID, the flexibility that's been given to employees has exploded? People have moved around the world, creating a challenge due to time zones. People have moved away from centralized offices, making meeting in person next to impossible. While this is great as an individual employee, this can be a major hurdle for project managers as we try to coordinate work activities taking place in multiple time zones and in a primarily distributed way. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 tips for managing projects in a highly distributed environment. Enjoy. Managing project teams is challenging under the best conditions. Managing teams that have never met in person and are spread across borders and across time zones makes our challenge even more difficult. But don't despair. I have 6 surefire ways to help your teams make the most of a challenging situation. Let's get into it. Number 1, turn on your video. If your team primarily works digitally and dispersed, I strongly suggest making a team rule that when your team meets by video, all team members turn on their cameras. Before video conferencing, there was phone conferencing. That was the way we used to collaborate. Now, it's really frustrating to me to use video conferencing technology, but have most of the team with their video off. It's the same as phone conferencing. It's as if we've been transported back a decade to when phone conferencing was all that was available. Turn on the cameras. I know that people, especially engineers, may not be dressed up as much as they would be if they were in the office. So what? I find that the more anonymous a person can act in a meeting, the less engaged they're going to be. Now, that's not always the case, but I've seen it enough that I recommend that you do all you can to get team members to fully join your meetings. Number 2, regularly problem solve. Distributed teams will have problems. Period. End of sentence. I suggest that you regularly hold team meetings to discuss and problem solve team problems. Invite team members to see the health of the team as their responsibility, not just yours. Let them suggest any ideas. There are no bad ideas. Then, if the team agrees on changes that should be implemented, take an active role in getting those implemented. Tip number 3, respect working hours. When teams are distributed across multiple time zones, there is a strong temptation to hold meetings that encroach on traditional off-hour times when schedules are tight. I worked at a company where people's schedules were booked back-to-back by meetings all day long. My team would want to book meetings that were sometimes outside of working hours for some team members. I would strongly encourage people not to do this. There's nothing more depressing than having to join a super early morning meeting or a late night meeting unless it's a true emergency. I believe that showing respect for people's time will get you farther than trying to cram in a meeting that is inconvenient and inconsiderate to some of the team members. Tip number 4, designate safe meeting times. This is similar to number 3 that we just talked about. In almost all teams, there's at least an hour or 2 of overlapping time when all team members are working standard hours. Call out these times and designate them as safe meeting times. These are times that any team member can use to book meetings with anyone on the team. These safe meeting times do not need to be the only time that you have meetings, but they should be the only times you have meetings where all team members are needed. Having one-on-one or small group meetings with people you know are working within their normal hours is totally fine. Tip number 5, meet in person whenever possible. Most companies, even if distributed, will find times to bring team members together. It may be certain departments or it may be the entire company. Take advantage of these times. Plan a special project team activity with the broader group during the get-together. Spend as much time as possible together to improve team bonding. Now, if your organization does not bring departments together in order to meet, then I have an idea for you. Depending on the size and importance of your project, you can potentially make the case that the team should be together during key moments of the project. If justified, talk to management about bringing the team in for key design meetings, testing, or go live, whatever makes the most sense based on the project. I know that budgets are tight, but as the project manager, I think going to bat for your team is part of the job. Tip number 6, make time for fun. Individuals and teams need time to let off steam. Setting up time to have regular fun team sessions can be a great way to make distributed teams work better. Just 30 minutes every month can be a great way to get team members to bond. As the project manager, you should do some planning ahead of time. Develop a theme, think of games, find a way to have a little fun. One thing that I've seen work is setting up a regular virtual happy hour. Provide a theme, such as music or movies, and have everyone share their favorites and why. Also be sure to celebrate special moments. Is a team member having a baby or a birthday? Celebrate it. So those are my 6 tips for managing teams in a highly distributed environment. It may not be the most conducive way to work as a team, but there are proven ways to overcome the challenges. Speaking of challenges, I challenge you to pick one thing to do this week to help improve your distributed team. Let me know in the comments what you did and how it went. Please share your great ideas with all of us. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Before we end this, just one quick thing. I've taken my years of project experience and married them with my MBA from UC Berkeley. The result is my book, The MBA Distilled for Project and Program Professionals. If you already have your project certifications and you're looking for a way to improve your skills further, you need this book. It takes MBA concepts from core classes and applies them to project management. It's available on Amazon in softcover or Kindle, or visit my website, mbadistilled.com, for more information.